all the time. When I got to the point to where if I didn't have a treat, she wasn't going to do it. She wouldn't do anything I asked her unless I had something to give her as a reward. So before she gets to that point, you use the clicker as a reward. So every time she does something good, and I'll show you how it works. It's a reward, and people are like, oh, how is that a reward? How do they like that? It's just like praise or love and affection. Anything they like, you can use as a reward. And you have to train them to think of this as a reward. So you give it to them at the exact moment you give them a treat after they do something good. Luna. Sit. That. Right now, she thought nothing of it. She just heard the click and was like, oh, whatever. But eventually, she'll start to associate the clicker with getting a treat. So after she starts to pick up on it, you just click rather than give her a treat every single time. Like if you're out on a walk, you don't have to carry treats. If you go to the dog park, you don't have to struggle with them. So you can just use a click. And it's not to get their attention. A lot of people, they want to put it in their dog's ear and click, 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 or come here, click, just to get their attention, but that's not what it's used for.
Oh, okay. So it's just used for...
Just for rewarding.
For rewarding.
Sit. Good girl. Good girl. Next week, we're going to learn how to walk nice on a leash.
Okay, walk them on the leash, you said? Okay.
How to walk them out without them pulling on you.
Yeah, she's, it's really hard to walk her. Like, we've tried to take her for walks, but it's not enjoyable because it's really hard to walk her.
Okay, yeah. We'll work on that next week. And then, so this week just practice the watch me. Try to get 30 seconds by next Friday. If you don't, it's okay. That's just our goal. Some puppies learn slower than others, but she's already picking up on it. I don't think she'll have a problem. Luna, watch me. Good girl. Did y'all have any other questions about anything that we learned today? Or?
I don't think so.
What kind of food are y'all feeding her?
My dad just got her new food, and I'm not
He
sure.
got her new one?
Yeah, because she ran out of food, so we got her new food. I told him.
Like, it's bad to switch their food a lot, right?
Is it? Yeah. Just to go from one food to the other, it's kind of rough on them.
Does it matter if they're older? Like,
No, it's just, it's rough on them no matter what. So,
Okay.
I mean, sometimes you have to do what you have to do, but if you're ever planning on switching, when you get down to like the last couple of meals with the old food, and you want to get the new food, mix it like half and half the first day, the next day, like 3/4 of the new food, and then like slowly introduce them to it. Off. Sit. Good girl. Luna. Watch me.
Is it? Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Good girl.
Is it like good to use, I guess, maybe like a different tone when she's doing something wrong, like say maybe like no, like with a deeper tone, like more serious?
Yeah, just a sterner voice. Just like no, rather than like some people they teach their dogs like babies. They're like, oh, can you sit for me? Can you sit? Do you want to sit? Well, the dog's not going to sit. You have to tell them. You're not asking them to sit. You're telling them to sit. So it's sit. What is that? Luna. Sit. Good girl. I mean, if you're telling, I don't know, with kids, they're like, oh, do you want to go to bed? Do you want to go to bed? Go get in bed if you want to go to bed. No, just go to bed. It's past your bedtime. So it's basically the same concept. You just don't want to be like, no, Luna. And that could scare her and give her like anxiety where she could get behavioral problems and anxiety issues. Good girl. Good girl. So since y'all are the only puppy, we're not going to take out the whole hour. There's not enough to give you to take out the whole hour. If we have 10 puppies, it takes the whole hour.
That's why it usually takes an hour.
Usually if I had like a full class, it would take an hour. Some classes might take longer than others just with what we're learning, but basically we're If
Okay.
y'all have any other questions, just let me know.
Oh, can I take a picture of the